Hey, what's going on? Joe Coffey here for Premier Guitar. We're at NAMM 2009, and check this out. We're at the Roland and Boss, I almost said booth, but it's not a booth. Take a look around here. This is one of the biggest, I guess, quote, booth setups you'll see in all of NAMM. They've got quite a bit going on. I love this over here. You can actually walk into a big Boss pedal. You go in there, and that's where they're showing off some of their guitar pedal products and tuners and whatnot. The reason why we're here right now is a press conference is about to take place. It's a joint press conference between Roland and Martin. Sounds like a comedy team, but we're talking about Roland Electronics and Martin Guitars. So let's check it out, see what this is all about.
Using Roland technology, we've worked with Martin, of course, as Chris mentioned, and Tim, to develop the most advanced acoustic guitar preamp ever made, and that's saying a lot. And I believe that you will hear that and agree very soon. It's a marriage made to create the ultimate acoustic guitar, a superbly crafted instrument made by Martin, and an innovative and advanced preamp made by Roland. Honestly, folks, I don't think it gets any better than that, boastfully, and as you'll see soon.
As CPU got better and smaller and cheaper and faster, and battery technology got better and better, they finally found a way to shrink this thing to a size that could go inside a guitar. And the result of one of the projects that was involved in that was this custom modeling built-in acoustic guitar preamp that we call the AP1. The concept behind the AP1 is this. The goal of it is to take an acoustic electric guitar with a piezo or a piezo, or however you like to pronounce it. I'll top out and use the word bridge pickup, which tends to sound kind of thin and brittle typically. Take that sound and run it through cosm modeling and give it the sound as if it had two fantastic microphones in front of it at various positions and a rack of studio EQs to make it sound full and rich and great. In other words, what the AP1 is designed to do is not take the sound of the guitar and change it into some other instrument, but to take the sound of the guitar and make it better. So you have the sound of your actual guitar, but better. We also added a couple of other things because we can. So there's studio quality digital reverb in this thing, a graphic equalizer, a tuner, and something no guitar, no acoustic guitar should live without, automatic anti-feedback. Now think about this for a second. There's certain immutable laws of physics. Gravity, right? Speed of light. Murphy's Law, I think, is an immutable law of physics. But what happens when you plug in an acoustic electric guitar? What happens? It feeds back. It does. This is an immutable law. Like it or not, when you plug them in, they feed back. So, being able to have the electronics on your guitar that can keep that from happening, to eliminate it if it happens, this is a very powerful tool, and the AP1 also does that. So once we had the concept and finally manufactured the package, the next step is to connect with a guitar manufacturer that might be interested in producing such a thing. We considered a few, but of all the ones we thought about, the ones that had the most interest in this product and understood its potential the most were the folks from Martin. In conjunction with Roland and Boss, Martin Guitars is now introducing 3 new instruments that utilize the AP1 preamp. At this point, I'll ask Tim to tell you a little more about these fantastic guitars. Tim.
Sure. The first one I'll talk about is the DC16 OGTE, and that's the guitar that we see up here today. Basically, this guitar uses open call for the back and sides. It has a rosewood wedge on the back, and the guitar is a gloss top, so it's priced at an affordable price. We feel that with the Roland preamp, the AP1, along with this combination of guitar, it's going to be a very popular instrument for the working musician. We also have an OM version of this guitar, which is the OM-C16 OGTE. And we also have, as yet a smaller body, the OOC16 DB GTE. That particular guitar uses mahogany for the back and sides. That guitar is also what we call a deep body, which is about a ½ inch deeper than a standard 00 guitar.
Craig Jones. CJ, let's hear it without the AP1 first. we'll turn on the AP1 and you'll see what it does for the sound, the inherent sound of the guitar. Jones, thank you very much, on the Martin DC 160 GTE. So I guess you saw it here first, everything we've been talking about, the connection, if you will, the partnership of C.F. Martin, certainly the oldest and most respected guitar manufacturer in the world, safe to say, and Roland and Boss, maybe boastfully, but probably the best music technology company, connecting, meeting together to produce instruments of that quality. I want to thank you very much, all of you, for coming here today. If you want to see these guitars up and close, Martin has all three of them.
Roland? Chris, you were talking about this collaboration and what went into this.
Yeah, you know, Dennis Houlihan and I have known each other from the NAMM Museum and the NAMM board, and we would talk casually about doing something together. I've always admired, you know, Roland's focus on technology, and he appreciated our focus on acoustic guitars. And as it got more serious, the one thing that struck me was, obviously with electronics, time moves faster. You know, I'm in a business where time seems to slow down in some respects. You know, we're still you know, refining a product that we developed 75, 100 years ago. And I would meet with the Roland folks, and they'd go like, okay, we'll have this ready for the next trade show. And I'm like, And the one time we met at the trade show in Hamamatsu, or in Japan, and that was in the fall. And I said, well, what trade show are you talking about? They said, the one in January. I'm like, you mean 3 months from now? They're like, yeah. I'm like, this is not going to happen. And that was 2 years ago. So, you know, we made it happen. We did. We drove them crazy because we were very concerned about the fit and the finish of the product, you know, making sure that the bezel mimicked the curvature of the side of a Martin guitar. It's not a generic product. It was custom designed for us. And there were times I think that both of us thought it may never happen. So I'm really pleased to be here today. And you need to talk to Tim Teal to get the specifics about what it really does. But like I mentioned when I was on stage, a good friend of mine reminded me not that long ago. He said, Chris, don't forget that one of the reasons the acoustic guitar is as popular as it is today is because people can plug them in, and when they play them loudly, they still sound like a good acoustic guitar.
Our readers are familiar with great collaborations you've had with Fishman, now with Roland,
Yep.
with a company being a company that has so much history to it and really a standalone brand in and of itself. To see you guys continue with these partnerships, what does that say about the guitar industry and the instrument itself these days?
It's a very collegial industry. You know, as much as there is competition, it's not brutal competition. And I think we realize that, you know, as big as this show is, we're a small industry, and there's strength in numbers. And the more we cooperate, the more we're going to continue to inspire people to play musical instruments. Because if that doesn't happen, we're not going to have a trade show. You know, we ultimately need to get the players to get excited about these new products and go out and open up their wallet and go to a music store and buy them.
Chris, thank you so much.
Okay, thanks, my pleasure.
So there you have it, Roland and Martin getting together to put VG technology inside of an onboard preamp in a Martin guitar. 3 models released today, and perhaps more to come in the future. I'm Joe Coffey. You're watching PremierGuitar.com.